Do what you need it to do, but not enough room to put perhaps different. Okay, so the saw line has cut all the steel to length, which is off the shaft list. So this is the list I was talking about on the saw line, which is all your material, what mark number it is, how many pieces, what the gauge and size, section size of the material is, what length it is to be cut to. So that's the shopping list that we cut on the saw line. And then what we've got then, we've got the yellow file, which is our fabrication file. So in there is everything, every fabrication drawing of every beam, and also the parts. So the parts come, and it's basically a list of drawings, a big long list, or a big pile of drawings, and then we make them parts in here. So on this drawing we've got here now, this is a shaft drawing for part number F1. Now this part F1, we require 22 of them in total. I know just by looking at that, that's a base plate. So that plate there basically is the one that goes on the very base of each one of the stanchions that goes around the building. So that gets welded to the bottom of the stanchion or the bottom of the post. So you've got all the information here. You know, you've got the mark, which is F1, you've got the profile, which is 300 by 20, so that's the material we're going to cut that from. You've got the grade of the material, so you can check the grade, how many, the length that you cut it to, and the weight. So that's 28.3 kilo, that plate is. So basically, now we'll show you, for argument's sake, these are all different drawings for different things. You know, that's the end plate to the rafters. So again, a little bit more complicated, but you've got 80mm by 90mm hole centres, and that's basically what's drilled in the stanchion out there, which we'll show you next time, but that's what gets made in here. So I'll show you the machine. So what we've got is a Morgan Rushworth steelworker here. So we've got a HST 125, which is a hydraulic steelworker, 125 ton pressure, I think. We've got the punch end, we've got the notching end, and we've got the shear line. So I'll show you each one individually. So basically what we've got all the flat material on the racks here, and what we do is we take them off onto the rollers, roll them in, and we'll crop to length. So if we're cropping a lot of a certain product length for a certain part, then there'll be a stop set up on the back. If not, then we'll mark with the chalk line. If you only need 3 pieces, you might as well just measure, mark it, and crop it. And inside there's basically a big shear. So there's a block, or 2 blades if you like, and they just come like a pair of scissors and crop the material into the length that you want it. So there's a foot pedal down here, and you press that, and that'll bring the shear down and crop it to length. So to give you an example, we'll crop one now. So we've set these stops up so it keeps the material straight. So we slide that in. So if you look through there, you can actually see the two. In fact, if you go to the back, you'll see it cropping as I crop it now. So basically that material then is just cropped. That's what's cropped there. We stack them all up in whatever part you're making, and like I say, if you've got a lot to do, you would adjust this here to whatever length measurement that you want. You push that up, that's got a button on the end of it, and as the material comes through, it depresses the button and automatically crops itself. Now you've got various different things. You can obviously do all your flat plate on here. You can do angle, which is in this one here. You can do various bar in that one there. Let's say, for argument's sake, you needed that plate, but you needed the corner cropping off. So this is the end that you do that on. You just crop the corner off. So then this is the end that we punch the holes in. So at the moment, obviously no holes. You can alter and change these sizes here of all the punch and dies, which we've got mountains of them over there. And basically, so then you punch your holes in. basically what happens is you punch your holes in the material to wherever you want them, so you'd mark them up first, exactly where you want them, put it in the machine, punch accordingly, and then the slugs drop out the bottom. So that's the material that is punched out. So you can see there's that little nipple, and basically that's where the punch first comes down, and you mark that, or you put that exactly on where your cross is, move it round, get it exactly where you want it, and then that pinches the material, and then when you're ready to go, it just pushes through. So what we do is we cut obviously lengths of flat, we bring them in. They're a nuisance to handle because as soon as you pick them up the forklift, they flop and dangle down like that. So we built these racks, and in the racks, just so when we're doing stock take, it's easy. We've got the actual section size of the material on the end, so pretty much from the floor you can do your stock take without bringing anything down. Trouble is with this sort of flat material, you end up with a pile constantly fishing through everything, so everything's got to have its place. So everything's got its own purpose-built rack, and that material drops into its own slot. That makes it easier for moving it around. They're heavy bits of kit, but obviously we've got the forklift, so it doesn't matter. And that's what we use. So when we come to do a stock take, I know 180 by 6. Quite simply, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So there's 12 in that stack. And basically you just keep going around. Well, stock take is easy, but you can see here how the material's in the rack. There's enough room for it to wriggle around, do what you need it to do, but not enough room to put perhaps different. But it's the right amount of room for the material. So when all the parts are made, they're all put on pallets, and then pallets are on this desk here, so it's all at perfect working height. And then we forklift them from there through onto the storage station in there, ready for when Andy wants them for the jobs to be fabricated. So what the pallet should look like is this. So yeah, yellow file, once it's finished with regarding parts, gets put on the pallet of parts. That comes through, sits here. Andy takes it as and when he wants it, but this is what it looks like. So a quick look on here. So there are your base plates, there at the bottom of your stanchion. So if you think of it, or a lot of you guys will know it as an I-beam. So you've got your stanchion, which will be like that. That gets sat on the top and welded all the way around. So that's all welded up, and that's your stanchion. And then purling cleats, to take a purling cleat as an example. That's the one that goes on the top, so that'll stand up. You'll put a mark on it, what the inset is to the rafter, line it up, plumb it up straight, and that gets welded on. But we'll show you that later on. The same again with the end plates here. So you'll have what that'll be is that will be your main rafter, that will be your haunch, and that's what gets welded on. Pallets then on my side now have a piece of paper with a name on. They've obviously got the yellow file which has got the name and the job number on. So for ease of reference, Andy can look over and he knows he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 jobs worth of parts in front. And then if he needs extra pairs of hands putting in there to get ahead, because the parts are going low, he can do that. So I'm going to go back over to the office, and while I'm going over there, workshop montage. Okay, so that's a little insight on how we make our parts. Now, I do know that some people will consider the way that we do it is quite outdated and either plasma or laser are the way forward. Now, we've actually got the workshop space here. When we designed and built the place, we built it so that we've got a workshop specifically for a plasma cutter or a plasma table. We went to buy one, then there was COVID and everything else, so we sort of put it on the back burner, and now we're back to sort of thinking, what do we do? Is that the way forward? So I'd be quite interested if there is any of you steelworkers out there that would pass a comment or leave us a comment letting us know what your thoughts are. We've had mixed views. Some people say that what we do is no slower than having a plasma table, but some people swear by them, so we're very interested to see what people think. So if you do have any experience with either or, please drop us a comment and let us know, and if you like what you've seen, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and we'll catch you next time. Bladen?